Hello everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to another Warlight video, surviving the Quickmatch series of videos that I've been doing. I wanted to talk about two games that I just recently did where it became clear that you need to learn when not to attack. At some point there, and I'm not talking of the most common thing where you are unsure about your enemy's income and you attack without fully deploying there, or you attack without doing all the delay moves to make sure that you have last order. I'm talking about more template turn specific things. So anyways, let's take a look with a specific game. So I played against Whitebeard the other day on Biomes of America, which is a template that I'm not particularly a fan of, but I do sometimes play good. Anyways, on this particular layout of the map, there were quite a few first turn bonuses. The most obvious one that stood out to me was Llanos, but you also had São Paulo and Rio with the Goiás here, which is not as appealing because it's a -1 territory to start with. You also had Alaska coastline, which you could also take in one turn, but you had Kauai there to put presence on. So all of these require 2 or 3 picks to get going, and then you also have the 4 things in Chilean woodlands which had 3 picks available. So you also had to take care of that, because if you only have 2 picks there, you can easily take it. So very hard to pick template layout on this particular game. You also have to pay attention to the middle because it's free income with decent expansion, either starting on the purple and making your way to the black, or vice versa. So I ended up prioritizing 1-2 on Llanos, then 3-4 on São Paulo and Rio, 5-6 up north in Alaska coastline with a counter on 7. I thought most likely I would not get Alaska coastline. You can also do 1-2 in eastern Cedar Forest here, and then expand into East Coast, which doesn't have any nearby income, so that's good expansion in the long term. But I felt like there were so many things happening on the short term, on the first turn, so many first turn bonuses, that this wouldn't come into play. And then obviously put the focus on Chilean woods, prioritizing 8 and 9. 8 because I would clearly see what's in Santiago, Chile, if someone deployed there or not. And then the 9, because if I have both, or if I just have the 9, it's fine. I can also counter it somehow. The 10th pick is just like a last resort sort of thing in case I don't have the other 2. I still have a presence there. A lot of other good places where you could start up in the middle, these 3 here, and Galapagos would be nice. San Ambrosio and Juan Fernandez also very likely start. A lot of different places to pick from, which made the game really, really hard to figure out. So these are the picks that I did. You can take a quick look at Whitebeard's picks. He went for 1 in Chiclayo, 2 in São Paulo. So he went for the basics, like going for the income that always gives you 1 income for sure if you have it. Northern Great Plains, Southern Great Plains, then 5-6 combo in Alaska coastline, 7-8-9 on the +4 down here. So yeah, he went for making sure that he would have not a first turn bonus, but all of his picks would give him at least 1 income afterwards. And if you have 7 picks and all of them give you income, you have 7 income in the beginning of the game, which is pretty good. This was what we ended up with. I got my first pick, so I ended up not getting São Paulo, and he has a decent counter planned here for Galapagos. So I have first turn bonus on Llanos. We split Alaska coastline, which is a bit annoying for me, but it is what it is. And then I have a presence here in the Chilean woodlands, but only 1, and he has 2 picks, so I'm definitely at a disadvantage there. So his first instinct was, my first instinct was to get my first turn bonus because I need it, and make sure I stay alive in Santiago, Chile. and either counter Minas Gerais, because I knew he would have to expand there, but I was afraid that he would out-delay me with some other trickery. So I decided to go for Maranhão instead to make sure that I don't have any negative income. Both of them are okay. Going for Minas Gerais gives you a better position in the long run, but if you go in there and you blockade yourself out to avoid the negative income, you risk not getting last turn and getting eliminated from the place altogether. So it's very risky. That's why I decided to play it safe this turn in particular. So yeah, let's see how it plays out. So first turn, I deployed only 2. He deployed everything there, which makes sense according to his pick strategy of having picks in places where you would always get a +1, except here for Alaska coastline, but it is what it is. So yeah, this turn we were pretty even, but he has a pretty good position, mostly because he hammered me on this one. So I'm by a thread on Santiago, Chile. So I have to make a hard decision here. Only have 5 income. I need to deploy 4, at least here, 4 to make sure that he doesn't wipe me out. He could still wipe me out even if I have 4, but it's likely that he will deploy at least 2 somewhere else to get a card piece. And I would assume that he would go for something like in Northern Great Plains or something like that. So he would deploy 2 elsewhere and he would be left with 2 or 3 income, depending on where his picks are and what he did to put everywhere else. So 3 picks here would take him up to 7 or 8. So if I have 5, I would be safe, would be able to prevent him from getting the +4 income overall. And that was my logic, that he would deploy 2 there and he would deploy minimally here in Santa Cruz, and that's it. So I thought, okay, I will also try to get a card piece. So I deployed in Houston, trying to get a card piece, and that was I lost the game because of that, and that's the point of the game, of showing this game. So I deployed only 3 here, which was still risky. Because he could have just put a 7, deploy 2, and still attack, and he deployed fully into Santa Cruz instead. So critical position. I did get first turn here, but it wasn't enough to save me. So hard call for this one. So because in the beginning of the stride, he decided not to get a card piece, or knowing that he would likely break me if he attacked. I also found it weird that he didn't attack me on both of them, because it would make sense for him to deploy 1 here and deploy 5 here and attack on both of them, just to make sure that he gets either one of them. But he went fully for Galapagos instead, which was interesting. So yeah, this was the big lesson for me. Sometimes it's not worth getting a card piece, and I don't think you even need to get a card piece on this game. Is in the settings of the cards here. Where are the cards? Cards. One piece. You always get 1 piece. You don't need to attack to get a card piece. So so you don't need to expand like you do in, for example, Medium Earth. You can just sit where you are and hold your position if you have a good position. If you are confident that you have a good position. And in this case, I could have done that. Like I could have split the deployment between Quito and Santiago, Chile, put a blockade maybe here, something like that, and that would have given me an edge to the game. But I think overall he had a better position. Maybe he was luckier with the picks, or I picked wrongly. But anyways, that's what I learned with this game. Then I ended up finishing Gulf of Mexico, but the game was already lost at this point. Once he broke me in Quito, it was already too late. So yeah, sometimes it pays off not to attack, and you need to be really mindful of that. think of the worst case scenario and ensure that you won't fall for that. Another case of games where I should have held back on attacks is this one. Let's take a look at picks real quick. So I went for 1-3 in West Russia, thinking that he wouldn't be trying that or deploying that. I thought he would deploy, I don't know, in East US or in Antarctica, something like that, or go for the combo in East Africa, and I thought I could sneakily get first turn bonus and out expand him. Even if I only got like one pick there, I could still use the fast income here, or the slow income but heavier income on East US. So I thought I had my bases covered, and you can see his picks. He went for 1-3, same as me, but he also added a 4 in Xinjiang, which is interesting. I would not normally recommend you doing that, because if you pick 1-3, you will always get either one pick or two picks there. So if you have an extra one, what can you achieve with the 4? Like getting you cannot get first turn Central Russia, so you're just having more picks around to screw you over. So I do not recommend this at all. But the rest of the idea was the same as me: safety in Antarctica and faster incoming in East US. In retrospect, maybe I could even have tried a combo in East US with East US and Alberta. So I would have like one pick here, or guarantee one pick here, and then get the combo, and then make sure I have the other picks here around the first turn bonus. And I would definitely win the game that way. But, you know, Captain Hindsight, that's always very lovely. Anyways, first turn, this is the distribution that we have. I don't know about him being in Xinjiang. I thought he was just in Moscow, and his second pick would be, I don't know, I assumed Africa, maybe 2 picks on Africa. That's what I was assuming. So I thought I could try to get Central Russia, but he would likely counter me from Moscow into Ufa. But he would probably not fully deploy there this turn, or he might fully deploy but only attack last turn. So I did something that I don't think I ever recall ever doing before, which was I fully deployed to expand on East US, but then I attacked with both to Ufa to get a stack there. And my idea was either see what he was doing. Like if he would attack with just 3 and hit my wall, I could try to wipe him out next turn. But he didn't deploy at all, so I knew he was in Antarctica for sure, and I didn't know where his other pick was. So at this time, I thought to myself, okay, I know he's in Antarctica. I know he's going to fully deploy here now. And he's going to be cocky. He's going to know that I need to deploy elsewhere to finish my income, because he has the only 3 bonus around. So I have to deploy elsewhere to finish it. He probably knows that I am in East US to begin with, so I only need to deploy 2 there. And 2 will make me 7. He will be in 9. So if he attacks me 8-7, he will have advantage. Or if I backtrack, make sure that my stack is safe, he will have better position in Ufa. So I thought, okay, I can out-delay him. I have enough delays around. So I'm just going to out-delay him and attack last minute. And if he attacks me at all, he's going to run into a wall, and then I'm going to wipe him out. So that seems pretty smart. I'm going to risk not getting a card piece, but I'm pretty confident he's going to attack me from Moscow. So that should be fine. And I have enough delays. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 delays here that I can guarantee I will have last action. So that's what I did. But he was smart. He was smart. He knew he knew not to attack, which is also a very important thing to have. He knew he was holding a position. He knew that it was likely that I would fully deploy. And he just did not attack. He finished his bonus. He did the smart thing, which can be very hard. You know, when you're in a good position like this, it can be easy to get cocky. And he even has Xinjiang, so he could afford to lose Moscow. So he could easily have risked it. Unfortunately for me, he did not. He played the smart way, and yeah, I lost the game right there because I didn't get a card piece, so I was already one card behind. And suddenly he has income and I do not, so game was already over at this point. I decided to still give it a try. So next turn I expand, I go back here. I know I have more income than he does now, so I could probably stay alive. I just have to make sure that he doesn't finish West Russia. And that's what I try to do this turn. I fully deployed in Dudinka, but he predicted me correctly. He predicted me exactly right. He attacked with 3 and he attacked with a full stack here. He failed to break me, but this is the thing. He has a card piece and I do not. So so now he uses and I didn't realize this. He now plays with the card piece, with the reinforcement card piece, and he has enough to wipe me out from Dodinka. I didn't realize he was ahead so many card pieces. I knew he was 1 ahead, but I had forgotten that I didn't get any income this turn again. So I counted his income. I knew he had 8, but I forgot about the reinforcement card. And yeah. He fails to get me, but I lost the first turn for this one. So next turn he has first turn for sure, and it's too late. So he wipes me out from there, and now I'm just desperately trying to expand everywhere that I can, but I knew it's that game. 26-20, didn't know by now, but close enough. 26-25. And this was another critical turn. If I had predicted that he would go into Solomon Islands, I maybe could have still gotten a foot in the game. So yeah, I went hard into Khabarovsk instead and just went 3 into Solomon Islands, and that was a mistake. I should have went harder here. I was also thinking of maybe going into Svalbard and making a surprise show up in Norway. Just to show up on the wrong place that he was expecting. But yeah, I needed full deployment there. I needed to not see him this turn, or at least not see him in Solomon Islands. So that was another point where the game was lost. So yeah, sad game for me. I didn't predict. I forgot about the card piece, pretty much. Should have attacked this turn, going either into Vorkuta or Omsk. Should have moved this turn instead of attacking for card piece in Ontario. So yeah, you learn from your mistakes. I hope you learned something from this video as well. See you next turn. Have a good game. Bye bye everybody. Take care.